Good afternoon. How are you doing? What's your name? So we just want to quickly interview you for our Global Perspectives team project. Our topic is sports and recreation, and our question statement is, in which ways do sports and recreation help instill social maturity in youth? So we just want to ask you, do you know what social maturity means? Social maturity is a process of people becoming more acclimated with their surroundings socially, such as building skills like patience and teamwork. So to get started, we want to ask you, what sports do you do?
I play football, tennis, athletics.
Do you think those sports help you develop your social skills?
Yes, it does.
In which ways, please?
It develops my sportsmanship. Because it teaches me how to be a team player, as well as how to set a target for myself and for a team to achieve it.
And how necessary do you think those skills are in the real world?
It helps you in your day-to-day life because you have to set like targets on where you want to be, and like you have to work with your peers. You have to communicate with like your friends and help each other on different aspects of life.
So you believe it's very important.
Yeah.
Do you think it has helped anybody around you develop their social skills? Maybe siblings, friends?
It helped my friends and my brother and father. Because like they're friendlier, they communicate with me on personal issues, and like we help each other elevate.
Thank you very much. How are you doing today? What's your name? So we just want to interview you quickly for our Global Perspectives team project. The topic is sports and recreation, and our question statement is, in which ways does sports and recreation help instill social maturity in youth? So we just want to quickly ask you, do you know what social maturity is? No. Okay, social maturity is the process of building appropriate skills that can help you survive amongst the community, such as patience and teamworking skills. So to get started, we just want to ask you, what sports do you play?
I play football, I run, and I play basketball.
Now, do you do any other recreational activities, let's say chess, checkers, board games? Okay. So you said you play football, right?
Yes.
How has playing football helped you develop important social skills that you will need in the future?
So in football you need to have coordination with your teammates when you are passing to them and you're receiving the ball. So in the future it helps with your coordination with real people in other types of businesses.
Thank you. And you also said you run. How does that help you develop those social skills?
It makes me more competitive against other people.
Okay. Now you're surrounded by lots of people in such a large school. Has it helped anybody around you develop social skills? Maybe a close friend, a sibling? Who and how?
My brother.
How?
So both of us practice our recreational activities together, and we talk a lot, so it helps him when he's also doing his own with his own friends.
Thank you very much for the interview.
Good day.
Hi,
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Today we're going to be talking to you about sports and recreation. First of all, I want to ask if you know what social maturity is.
Yes, I do.
Okay, like for example, teamworking skills, leadership skills, and the other useful skills. So, what sports do you play?
I play basketball, football, and volleyball.
Okay, and do these sports help you build a level of social maturity, and how?
Yes, they do. they help me create better bonds with people that I play with in my team sports, and they help me like lead like better. If I get to know you more, I can understand your weaknesses and strengths, helping like to build bonds and everything, so I can help lead. So it also helps me like just try and understand people better as well, so that I can always see where people are coming from with their opinions and a different perspective of things as well.
Okay. And finally, how do you think we can increase the number of sports and recreational activities available to us?
I think we should first of all raise awareness to the student body and teachers as well, because I think everybody just has this certain level of sports that they're so used to because of the wide media coverage of the sports. But sports like netball and rugby that could be played at grade, it's like it's not spoken about a lot. So I think there should be more um, talks about it, and I think there should be adequate facilities to help us play the sport as well. Because if we don't have the facilities, then we can't play the sports. And yeah, I just think there should be lots more.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Good day, sir. How do you do?
Fine, thank you.
So today we were speaking to you about sports and recreation.
Okay.
I want to ask first of all if you know what social maturity is.
I think social maturity is the process of developing appropriate attitude for personal, interpersonal, and social adequacies of an individual, which are essential for functioning in a society. So I think that's what social maturity is.
Like for example, teamworking skills, leadership skills, and the other useful skills.
Exactly.
I also want to ask what sports you play.
Okay, I play a lot of sports. I play volleyball, I play tennis, I play basketball, I swim, so, and football.
Okay. And why did you start teaching PE?
I have this positive interest in sports, alright, and so in my secondary school, so I play sports a lot, and I know I have the skills and the techniques and all that, so I studied physical and health education in university days and all that, so.
Okay. So during the course of teaching, have you seen any changes in your students' social behavior?
Of course, definitely, and the first time you asked about social, maturity, and that is exactly what sports does. Sports is a kind of tool that can be used, to develop, your social life, your mental life, and your physical life. So sport brings people together. Alright. So if you look at team sports, you really need to have that social maturity, which we said before, to be able to play in a team sport. Alright. So definitely.
Okay. And why do you feel a level of physical activity is relevant to a child's social development?
Can you repeat that question?
Okay. Why do you feel a level of physical activity is relevant to a child's social development?
Oh, okay. So let's take it from primary school. At that age, they are so young, and the amount of physical activity they get involved in, it won't be as much as physical activities you get involved in when you're in secondary school. So you can compare a primary school student to a secondary school student. So you need to have developed, physically very well before you can participate in some sports. Alright, so you need that level of physical maturity. Can we call it physical maturity now? To be able to do well in some certain sports. So that's a big factor.
So has teaching PE allowed you to socially mature, and how?
Definitely, definitely. Personally, I can say that teaching physical education has really helped my social life because I remember when I was young, you know, so I'm not that sort of social person. I'm not about sports. Like I said, it brings people together. It develops your social life. So it makes interaction with people around you more effective because whether you like it or not, if you play sports, especially team games, you have to relate, you know, to people around you. So definitely sports helps um, social life.
Okay, and the final question. Um, how do you think we can increase the number of sports and recreational services available to us?
Well, there are so many ways we can do that. Number one, the first thing we should think about is the finance. That is, we need money, to make those facilities available. That's the first thing. So finance is a very important factor. Then, secondly, we need the professionals. We need the professionals like qualified PE teachers, qualified coaches, qualified instructors to make this happen. Then, thirdly, we need space that will put the facility, that will put the equipment. So if there's no space, then it won't be possible.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you very much.